Now that Khadija Amin has lost the election, she should go on a Swiss by-election. She lost. The government of today has now recanted their position. They have turned around, and instead of paying these men, they have said no. But yesterday you learned that someone who is affiliated with the Prime Minister, that individual got paid. That individual got paid. Why in God's name? And I'm sorry because I think I'm really sorry I was not in studio yesterday evening because I had some sharp questions for Thomas George.
And we hope he calls today.
I'm hoping that he calls.
We want him to call today.
Right now, you see, and I'm trying to understand why would Thomas George take such a defensive position when he would have in fact sent letters. I've seen the letters. He would have sent letters authenticating the projects. And these projects are as old as how, a year or more?
Yeah, 1 year.
A year or more. If he was to clean a drain, trying to be good, with an excavator, do you not think within 1 year that grass is going to grow back? And you guys said it was part of the flood mitigation.
Yeah, flood mitigation program. That was
program.
Yeah. And during this period, right, no compensation were paid to any farmer.
Yeah.
For flood damages, none whatsoever. That is on record. And they were all, the Minister of Food Production, even Jairam Simangal went recently on the radio and I heard him saying that, they boasted about in Tabakit where their access road and farmers are benefiting tremendously to all the work that was done. What I'm saying and the ministers and them, we spoke to the telling us that the work wasn't done and they investigating that some was done. What I am saying to the ministers and them, if you have a listed and you feel you have an audit here telling you that there's only 4 projects that wasn't completed, right? Why hold all the contractors on some? If you're doing the honorable thing, do the honorable thing and make payments. Make your payments for those contractors who would have fulfilled all the requirements, which is the total amount of contractors. The audit said that, we didn't say that. Yeah. So they need to honor their obligation.
Mr. Prasad, I need to ask you, why is there a cover-up? Why? What have you all done wrong? Because to me, it seems like Mr. Ramachan, he's treating you all like criminals. He's treating you all like thieves.
Why is
there a cover-up?
I really won't say it's a cover-up. I really don't know. To be honest with you, the question is one of the individual ministers said to us today, the P&M, everything is an audit for them. They want to see this and they want to see transparency. Come on. You have an audit. What other transparency you want than an official audit by central audit? And central audit are the auditors who audit everything in this country.
No, but wait. I could tell you why the cover-up. I could tell you why those involved are finding it difficult to pay. That's very easy. In the first place, the methods that they employed to hire these contractors was flawed. It was an election tactic. So now that they can possibly get in trouble, they don't want to pay. But the fact is that these guys had worked.
Then I have an easier answer, My easier answer is that they are so losers.
Yeah.
That's it. They are so losers. It didn't when they should go on us West by election, so all the money that they would have lost during that election, if they could get it back or not spend any, but it's at the expense of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and that is what is unfair.
Listen to Mr. Crichton and his flight.
His 8-year-old daughter.
Has children. But I want to open up the lines. But Trinidad and Tobago, don't call. I want to hear from Thomas George alone.
Thank you.
I'm going to give Thomas George 4 numbers to call us. So try to be, please, don't call yet. The person I want to talk to for the next 2 minutes is Thomas George. Thomas George alone. Thomas George, you can call 622-9154, 622-3303, 628-1158, or 718-874-3860. Now, if you're not Thomas George, oh gosh, you'll get my vex. I want to talk to Thomas George alone at this point in time. I'm seeing one line. Good evening.
Good evening. No, listen to me. Those ministers, they don't deserve to be called honorable. Don't call them honorable. They don't deserve that.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you. Good. You see, he called. Yesterday, he called. Yeah. Let's try to reach Thomas George. So, guys, things wrong. Things bad.
Bad is not even. Say wet brown paper that's cut here.
Yeah.
And this is a situation that we in. I myself personally, be honest with you, I have people coming along my throat for their money. Right? And I mean, what else you can tell them? Every time you tell them this week, okay, this week short, next week, well, we only going according to the information that we receive from the department. Right? I mean, we were happy when we spoke to Mr. Hawaii, saying 2 weeks' time, well, we will be paid. I mean, we was real jubilant about that.
When was that?
That was on the 5th of May. That we pay in 2 weeks' time. And the 5th was my birthday, so I say, that's a birthday gift.
Minister, Hawaii would have received $10 million for no work done. Because they said had he stayed in the bank, he would have earned that money. So $10 million for no work done, and these gentlemen did work, and they don't want to pay them.
Is the answer? I'm not going to answer today because I want to fed him today. No, because I find it to be, really sad, These are regular run-of-the-mill people. These are your daily folks who go to the parlor and the shop, folks who try to establish themselves in Trinbago. Yet you give particular persons, millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of contracts. A 33-year-old, close to $1 billion, Nigel. In contracts, and he's getting paid so he can afford to spend $15 million in toys,
Then
luxury vehicles, toys.
3 Range Rovers, a Rolls Royce, and a convertible Ferrari worth $6 million. That's the price of the Ferrari. How much will it cost you to pay these contractors?
We don't even have a road here for Ferrari.
You know what's hurting me the most about this whole thing? Over the years, I've been saving money to make sure my children have a good education and they don't have to go through what I went through. Working the grind from the bottom up. So I want to make sure, and the skills I have, so I always try to teach them to be independent. I had a fixed deposit for my girls' education, and that fixed deposit, I broke that fixed deposit to do this job. And now, so what they are telling me, they don't care about my children's education. That is what hurted me the most about this.
And Mr. Creighton, I feel for you. Reason being, Mrs. Prasad Bissessa, she calls herself the mother of our nation. She says she's the mother of our nation. How as a mother, you can watch this happening? How can you watch this take place?
So putting aside that, I listen to the PP extravaganza, I call it, when they had their, every year, right? The Prime Minister said, equality for all. So why they pay some of the contractors
exactly
and don't pay us? They pay SIS, they pay Calco, they pay Jasamco, and they pay Simcol. These are multi-millionaires. Billionaires.
We can call them billionaires.
We are people, we are normal, everyday people. We need our money too. We have families, we have children.
Thomas was calling today.
Who is compensating
calling
me?
This evening.
Who is compensating me for a whole year of losses? Even if I get the money. Even if I get the money, half of the interest that I would have earned on the job is already gone. The profit from the work is already gone because I have to pay the bank. The bank right now want to restructure the loans, meaning They want to take everything and put it into one, make me take a fresh loan to pay them off, and then pay another loan again at a cheaper rate. That's what they are telling me now.
So they are looking to break these small contractors in. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nobody
broken.
cares about these contractors. And
It's already broken. I don't know what to do again.
I'm angry. I'm really angry this afternoon.
Yeah.
Reason being, Saturday gone, it was the 24th, right? On the 24th, this government would have celebrated 4 years in office. Big celebration. I'm sure millions of dollars would have gone into that celebration. Why not pay these contractors?
Well, let me just say this, The auditor from the Ministry of Works, we had a little discussion on it, and we also, it's on tape. When we did mention to the individual that we have auditors from the Ministry of Finance went and audit the jobs, right? Apparently she didn't know. She said, no, we're not going to honor that. That will have to strike out. So here it is, you have auditor from the Ministry of Finance condemning Central Audit, Investment Division auditors, Ministry of Works, condemning what Ministry of Finance did. So somebody had to tell us what is really going on, right? And you have auditors working in this division, right? Investment, and the Minister of Finance will rely on heavily as to determine who get paid and what transpire from there on, right? And you have, as I said, FCCA, ACCA, MCP against the name. And you have persons like a procurement manager from URP, an assistant, and these fellows going outside and want to do audit without GPS. I am saying to you all, Trinidad and Tobago, I find we have enough. No more audits. We have an audit, honor the audit, and pay us. That is all we are asking for.
Yeah. But what I find really strange and awkward is that the Minister of Finance would have said to pay, and then someone else say, more audit. So what's going on?
In this whole thing,
who's in charge?
Mr. Ramachan is the whole problem in this whole thing. Every time we get inroads into it, he does something to stop the payment. Because we keep liaising with everybody, being liberal about it. All right, it's a year already, we've been waiting a year. Well, all right, they make commitments to pay. Well, no, we have no problem. But every time it reaches to the point that payment is going to be made in some form or fashion, Mr. Ramachan tries his best to stop whatever is happening.
Why? And what have you all done to Mr. Ramachan?
Nothing. Well, I will make a bold statement today. We are not his contractors.
Thank you.
That's my bold statement because I'm fed up. Yeah. The auditors from Ministry of Finance. They came out on the field. We went with them from 6 o'clock in the morning. We spent whole day on the fields with them because we wanted everybody to make sure all the contractors, we don't just was looking out for ourselves alone.
Right.
We wanted all the contractors to get paid. So we went to every side because we really wanted to find out at the end of the day, like, all right, well, if they were talking the truth that the work wasn't done in some areas. But when we went through with the auditors, the work was done. And I'm not saying this because look, me and Mr. Prasad here, we only met in the URP office. I didn't know Mr. Prasad before this project. I didn't know any of the contractors before this project. But we get together as one because we are fighting the same cause. But we didn't know one another before this project. Before last year, I didn't even know Mr. Prasad existed. So it's not a collusion between the contractors and, the foolishness people come up with.
Right.
We only met in the URP office, and when I find out, well, he's looking for the same, and I looking for the same. So I said, boy, we need to get together as a unit, and do something, else they will carry us on a run forever.
Right.
And it's the government. What you could do, the government? If they say, well, they're not paying you, what you could do? But I have a point to bring in is that we want crime to come down in this country. We have legal, hard-working men seeing about their families, what they want us to do when they don't pay, and they come and repossess my house, or they come and take my vehicle. What they will leave for me to do when my back against the wall?
That was on the breadline, Dominic.
What they want me to do? They want me to turn a criminal? I'm not a criminal. I work hard all my life. I know about every type of job you could think about. 20 years now, I'm a contractor. And I've never had a problem. This is the first time I never pick it in my life. I always vote. But I never take part in the politics part.
Right.
I don't, I just try to stay away from it because, it always brings contention between people. So I always try to stay away from, the politics and the meetings, but I always vote. But, come on, it's time.
So we want to open up the lines, to the callers can call in and have their say. So, Dominic, have we given up on Mr. George? Well, for now, yes. Because I would really like to hear his explanation today. Yeah. The numbers to call 622-9194, 622-3303, 628-1158, and the foreign line 718-874-3860. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Hello, yes, we're hearing you, caller. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm listening to this program this evening, and my heart is so heavy listening to this. I want to know where is the president in all of this? Huh?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yes, I want to know where is the president in all of this?
That's a good question, caller.
We have a president in this country?
Yeah.
He didn't say what powers that we could do things? These people work hard. Why are they being treated like this? The boys, come on, man. Huh?
Yeah.
Come on, the human being to do that. The president today, when we sit and listen to sharing all of this, what are you doing as the head of the country? You want to tell these people, come on? Oh, gosh, man. I'm fed up. Bye.
Thank you, caller. Good evening.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Sunshine.
Good evening, caller.
I'm listening to the program and listening to contractors who have done their work and they're not getting the payment. And that's very wicked. I listen to some other talk show and they describe someone as wicked. And they're supposed to be wicked all the time. I have some contract with the government also last year. My contract is different. My contract I expected to continue. And last year they just called Monday I was supposed to start one contract. The Tuesday they call and say official, not even official enough. Secretary in the office call no more contract Monday and from last year to now we don't have a contract. Let me alone, I will go over it, right? It's in training and personal development and they just stop it and they haven't said a word. We went to them and they say, well, they can't do nothing with that. And that's the attitude. It's a very wicked system that they have in operation day in and day night.
Thank you, caller. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening to the Sunshine Crew.
Good evening, caller.
Peace and blessings. Gentlemen, I'm feeling all your pain. I'm feeling all your pain. Gentlemen. I really feeling all your pain. But we in a situation here whereby we have to really understand what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, we had to understand what is taking place with this government we have running Trinidad and Tobago. I feel it for the brother. They are telling him, give me a week. Yeah, you better give me a week. But I know that gentleman was not calling back this evening. He called yesterday, he run up his mouth, and I know personally from the time you asked him to call back, I know he wasn't calling back today. So gentlemen, I feel all your pain, but things will work out somehow. Things will work out. Keep all your fingers crossed that things will work out. Keep a positive mind all the time. Bless it.
Thank you.
Thanks for Good evening and welcome to the Sunshine Hour. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good evening to the Sunshine Hour.
Good evening, caller.
Hello?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yes, good evening. Well, when I could hear a big man come on national radio and shed his tears, whether I feel your pain this evening. But what I want is, Dominic, yesterday?
Yes.
Dominic?
Yes.
You will play a clip from the Prime Minister's intention in 2010. I would like Trinidad and Tobago to hear that clip again when I could hear a big man come on this radio station and shed his tears. I will be appreciated
if you can play that clip and let it all at Trinidad, because I feel this morning that some people was at work and they home relaxing this evening and they should both say, yeah, the Prime Minister intention. Because she said it in 2010, you know, there will be no more of what we hear this afternoon. So brothers, have a wonderful and keep the faith, and I know God will find a way for you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, caller. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I wonder if there's any way you could take this document to the DPP and let them give some police officer who to investigate this matter. Then we could go to the DPP with this.
Yeah. Caller, I think you're absolutely right. And let me tell you something. If not the DPP, last night I listened to Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj.
Yeah.
The heart that this man has for this country. And I am asking these guys to take it to him because he's not a money man. You know, every matter that he takes.
You want to the DPP.
Yeah.
If we take a road as a long road, it's not no long road because all the policy is done as a contractor also. And the government is paying, victimizing people. You are not going to get money to run campaign and nobody elected. So, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here you don't work and you can't get paid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
This same man George, right? He was in charge of the RP. And government, when Kenneth was in power, was doing some work up by my side, and I was storing material, and I was supposed to be paying. And he cut the pay, he stopped the pay. Government came and come and take back all the material that was remaining there. And they pay me a couple of weeks and cut the pay. Over here, I have the material holding for them. So I expect nothing different from him. They use him to do what all the dirty work and get rid of him. But find out the DPP, check the DPP, do go on the police, go to the DPP and see if you can get any answer from your police because they lost your house. You will be shit out like a real right.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dean and Dominican, Nigel and everyone.
Good evening, caller.
John,
Yeah.
I heard someone ask where is the president in all of this. The president is enjoying the benefits of it. He don't have a week to study. His kids are okay. His wife is okay. Children are fine. His family, his extended family are all enjoying the benefits of Trinidad and Tobago. But we don't care. That time we have nothing to say. He made one comment in the papers talking about we need to have more male teachers. Right? I have no respect whatsoever for this man. I have no respect at all. And his children are young and growing. I want to know what he will tell them in the future. Because he will go down the street as a page. He's bitterness. He's a wolf. You understand? He has no regard for people. Also, because up to now, we'll pick up his phone or raise his phone or write something in a paper stating how you feel and that the people are the children to be being mistreated and treated unfairly. Up to this, too. But he's enjoying all our benefits and rushing through priority Washington and everything. You have to go and do life and all this. You don't care about that? He has no shit in the bit of it. He comes back and he finds all of them great part time. Big ways. Take care for us.
Thank you, caller. Has he become one of the men and women of letters that he chastised Dane for not saying anything before?
But gentlemen, not being rude to cut across to, but tomorrow we are protesting outside the Ministry of Finance. We had take our struggle Tuesday at the Senate, and it was debated in Senate. I understand, so I heard it was raised. I understand. Today we was at Parliament, and we understand. We are informed that tomorrow there is a meeting concerning the same process at the Ministry of Finance, and we are asking Trinidad and Tobago those who wish to support us, we are outside the Ministry of Finance on Independence Square there, Brian Leroy. They come out and let some support.
What time was it?
12 o'clock.
And I definitely want to endorse that, because it's time, we started last week Friday. It's time that we stand together as a country. We come together and support these poor contractors, because we've heard the cries of some of the contractors, and it's unfair to them that they would have given so much. They would have put things on loan. They would have taken loans. They would have put things on mortgage rather, and yet still today they have not been paid, because the government is so loser, and they would have been able to pay. They would have paid persons who would have been close to them, and that is the unfair part of it. Why were some contractors paid, including the Prime Minister's son's father-in-law, but yet still we have people who are here in studio with us, as well as the other 55 or 56, the other 55 contractors were unable to be paid. Why is that? Why is it after an independent audit was done? Why is it that these contractors still have not been paid after a year?
You see, the bottom line is, that if you're not a brand name person, right, if your name isn't associated with the powers that be, if your name is not I won't call any name, but your name has to be, etched somewhere among the upper echelon in society. You can't be a normal mortal and expect goods and services from this government. But this is what was promised. This is what was promised.
Yeah, one of the contractors, actual general contractors, right? If you pull up on the internet, you will see who the directors are.
Mr. Manning promised to give them land and other goodies. In exchange for what? For using muscle power to steal the election, to terrorize and intimidate citizens of this land. So they will do anything to win an election. Mr. Manning has never denied that he relied upon, or that he was accused of using the Muslim power in those elections. He has never denied it. And so these things came not because of any person in the police service who was anxious to get to the bottom of this matter. It came from the Privy Council, when the Privy Council expressed the view that there was something that was not right. And if this had already taken place, if this deal was made, it would be a serious breach of the law. And that decision was then stood down. And then it was a judge, Justice Narine, who said that this matter, affidavit, must go to the police for investigation. What happened? When he made that, the Attorney General stood up. Present Attorney General, Mr. Jeremy, lambasted the judge. Lambasted the judge in public, that the judge was wrong in doing that. But then who it was to do it when the authorities did not pick it up? It took the judge, rightly so, to refer the matter to the police. And so now we have our Prime Minister being investigated about an alleged land deal with Mr. Bakar. We wait with bated breath. Because the PNM has said openly they take care of their own. They take care of their own. To get to the truth of this matter, what we have to do to get justice in this country, we have to vote them out. We have to vote them out. And so this country now has become, under the Manning regime, bacchanal country. Every day is a new bacchanal on the front page. Every day is new pressure for the citizens. It was only last week the nation was rocked. In the previous weeks, we were rocked with Bacchanal 1 and Bacchanal 2 and Bacchanal 3, about the church at the Guanapo Heights, about the Corda Heart and the Uricot, about the corruption, about the family relationships. We had Bacchanal about the alleged Cayman bank account of a former minister and his wife, and the same alleged land deal with Bacar and so on. We had the Bacchanal.
Every day is a new Bacchanal. Every day is a new Bacchanal. I'm wondering, Trinidad and Tobago, is that not what we're seeing today?
So Mr. Manning says, attack and destroy. They went at
This is what everyone has been asking us to replay.
They of bribery. They declare war on the construction sector. They denigrate the artistic community. And as you've said earlier, and they have the gall, or they have the shame, or the brass face, as we say, to call shame on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is the arrogance we see in this government. I spoke to you about the Bacchanal deal. And it's against the background of these and so many other issues. That is why I have filed on your behalf. I have expressed the will of the people by filing in the Parliament a motion of no confidence in the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I have just raised 2 or 3 matters that occurred within the last week. You know many more. We could spend all night and all week. The list gets longer and longer, and the pain and the suffering of our people grows with each day. And that is why we will go to the Parliament, because he has lost all credibility. He has shown that he is unable to govern this country fairly and justly. People have lost faith in him. And do you know, in any other part of the world, what would have happened with a Prime Minister like that? Prime Minister would have resigned. And that is why what we must do, we must vote them out. We have to vote them out. How much more will we take under the Manning regime? How many more must die? How many more must sleep on the floors of the hospital? How many more children must go to sleep on hungry bellies because parents can't afford to buy milk? How much more can this nation take? And I'm saying, each day, it becomes worse. It's pressure. As Stalin says, it's pressure. It's pressure. You know the song from Stalin? Rio Claro feeling it. Puerto Rico feeling it. Pinal feeling it. Tobago. Everywhere you go, it is the same. And this is why also, against this background, I have made a successful call for a joint platform for the voice of labor, the voice of business, the voice of citizen activist groups, the voice of non-governmental organizations, the voice of political parties, to stand in defense of and in promotion of citizens' rights and good governance in our country. This will take place in the form of a rally called the Voice of the People Rally, to be held on Saturday, March 26th at Safe Park from 2 p.m. March 27th at Safe Park from 2 p.m. on Saturday, which is Saturday coming, the 27th. Some of the issues we want to discuss will be the runaway crime, the corruption, the squandermania, the job insecurity, unilateral dismantling of the public service, undermining democratic institutions, undermining business environment, threatening our environment generally, inadequate provision of water, basic infrastructure, roads, basic amenities. And we will deal with these issues and bring proposals as to how we see that we can deal with the problems that confront our country. And so we want all of you, we invite you to come out in your numbers, because that is a day when you can be part of history. Will you join us on Saturday the 27th at Safe Park? Will you join us, please, on that day? Because it will not just be the UNC on that platform. The trade unions, representatives, and the others I mentioned you will come together, because it's together we
Trying to be good. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me, Janelle. Every day she said, it's a bacchanal. One issue after the other. Wait, Janelle, wait. And I want to encourage Trinidad and Tobago to tune in this evening to Breaking Barriers. Look now, I have to get home. I just have to make it home. I cannot afford to miss Mr. Ishmael tonight at all. Inshan, just delay the broadcast. Let me get to Grandina, partner. Because this evening it is going to be fiery on Breaking Barriers. Every day is a bacchanal, one scandal after the other. And if I have the strength and courage, man, and if I only get the tools that some of the workers have tonight, Janelle, a piece of bacchanal Trinidad and Tobago is brewing. Is one gate after the next. Sure, Madam Prime Minister, you called it. Every day is a bacchanal. Don't pay the contractors. Don't pay them. Don't pay them. Let Mr. Crichton and Mr. Passad rot. Let the banks repossess the little truck. Don't worry about his 8-year-old daughter. Leave her. She don't need lunch to take to school. No.
She don't need to go to school.
No, man. Leave her. Leave her to wither away and simply fade into the night. Leave her. Huh? Don't even touch room 201. Don't touch it. Leave that alone. Wait for information. Like big, bright Prakash Ramadan. Wait. Lay back and relax, man.
What about the national conversation we heard about last week? You talk, we listen.
Yeah.
The government will listen.
Yeah, but more than that, in addition to that, Dominic, in addition to that, this put God in front and I'll walk behind. This lady has left God in the dust. She's way ahead. God is quite behind because God didn't want no part of that, Madam Prime Minister. You think if God was on earth, Madam Prime Minister, she would allow Mr. Crichton's daughter to have to embrace him and comfort him when the truth is that he should be comforting his daughter? Are you serious, Madam Prime Minister?
Dean, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And it's directed, if you feel to answer, Mr. Prasad and Mr. Crichton, and you Trinidad and Tobago. Who is Suraj Rambachan? Who is Suraj Rambachan? Why should your fate be in his hands? Why does he wield all this power? If the Ministry of Finance has already finished with the audit, why stop payments, knowing fully well that you contractors are suffering? Who is Suraj Rambachan, Trinidad and Tobago? And I say this because every time we speak of victimization, his name pops up. You can answer, Mr. Prasad.
Yeah.
Well, my opinion is that I figure he probably holding files for somebody. So if he talk, you be by out of the window, so they just listen to him. But honestly speaking, they have to understand we are taxpayers. We hold the reins, not them. They are just servants of us.
Yeah.
They have to do what we say.
Yeah.
And listening to the Prime Minister's clip, it sounds like she was a prophet. She was a prophet. She was a prophet. She was prophet but sad. Prasad Basasa, she was the prophet. She spoke of her faith. She spoke of persons who don't care. She spoke of a government that doesn't care about the contractor. She spoke about a government that does not care about the runaway crime. She spoke of a government that does not have control over corruption. She spoke of a government that needs to be voted out of office.
Yeah, she spoke of a union, of the unions going to come together. The same union came together against you
on Friday.
I'm trying to go, we are out of time because there's a clip that we must play. There are actually two presentations that were made last night in Ikakas, and we must play tonight. But I want to say to the young lady who approached me in Ikakas yesterday, trust me, lady, I feel your pain. I understand what you're going through. I understand your concerns rather about the main road. All right, from Fullerton to Ikakas. I understand that the government left you in abandon. I understand what the children are going through down there. I understand, but judgment day is coming one day soon, man. This wicked government is going to go. And the councillors down there who were given particular sums of money to keep a particular event for children, and who pocketed 10 grand. I don't know who the person is. I'm just saying. I'm asking the question. Why? Why? It's not reasonable, sir. It's not reasonable at all that you treat people like that. It's not fair. The resources of the state don't belong to you. And I urge the Prime Minister, for the love of God, you better listen to the cry and the tears of Mr. Crichton and his 8-year-old daughter. You better remember Mr. Prasad, who lost his vehicle, and dozens like him who are losing their assets to the bank because of non-payment, because of your political plot, scheme, and petty shenanigans. Remember, and I say to you guys, there's a particular minister who today is living on a river bank because of wickedness and injustice that was served in this country.